In the realm of human thought, the concept of nothingness often drifts through our conversations and musings, usually escaping deeper scrutiny. It's about time we held this elusive notion still and examined it closely. Imagine embarking on a journey through a landscape devoid of features, not just empty of life and landmarks, but empty of space and time itself. This is our expedition into the philosophy of nothingness. Nothingness suggests an absence, a lack, or a void. However, unlike the simplicity of having no more cookies in a jar, philosophical nothingness tugs at the very fabric of reality. It challenges our fundamental understandings of existence. What does it really mean to say something is not? This inquiry leads us into a web of paradoxes and revelations that have teased the minds of philosophers for ages. Historically, the exploration of nothingness isn't merely an intellectual exercise. It's deeply personal and profoundly existential. Ancient Eastern philosophies, like those found in Buddhism and Taoism, often speak of emptiness not as a state of lacking, but as a transcendent quality. In Buddhism, sunyata, or emptiness, is seen not as an absence, but a form of ultimate reality, a way of seeing things as they are without the distortions of personal bias and emotional attachment. Here, nothingness is a rich tapestry, woven from the threads of everyday existence and spiritual insight. In the West, thinkers like Soren Kierkegaard and Martin Heidegger also grappled with nothingness, though through different lenses. Kierkegaard viewed the concept through the prism of human existence, anxiety, and faith, where Heidegger saw it as foundational to understanding being itself. For Heidegger, nothingness helps illuminate why there is something rather than nothing, pushing us to confront the mysterious ground upon which all existence is based. Let's consider nothingness in a more tangible form. Imagine space. Outer space is often perceived as a vast emptiness. However, this empty space isn't truly nothing. It has properties, it bends with gravity, and it vibrates with quantum energy. Physics teaches us that even a vacuum isn't void of existence. It teems with potential life and matter. Here, nothingness morphs into a canvas of possibility. But what about non-existence? Think of all the creatures, the planets, the galaxies that could have been but never were. This form of nothingness is not just an empty space, but a space of unfulfilled potential. It's where philosophy and imagination meet, inviting us to ponder realities that exist in concept alone, realities that remind us of the limits and liberties of our own existence. Yet, nothingness isn't confined to the grand cosmic scale. It's in the quiet moments of life when we pause and find space between our thoughts, between our breaths. In these pauses, in this stillness, lies a profound form of nothingness. It's a source of peace and, paradoxically, of deep connection to all that exists. Here, nothingness is not an abyss, but a bridge connecting all forms of being, suggesting that in our emptiest moments, we might be most full. As we circle back from our exploration, we see that nothingness is far from nothing. It's a concept dense with layers, rich with philosophical and existential inquiry. To contemplate nothingness is to delve into the heart of what it means to be. Each thought about nothingness offers a mirror to our own presence in this universe, asking us to consider not just what is, but what could be and what is not. In understanding nothingness, we uncover new dimensions of existence, and perhaps more intriguingly, we find new ways to understand our own place in the vastness of all that is and all that is not. This is the gift of nothingness, a lens through which the universe can be re-envisioned and through which we can see ourselves anew. In this vast, echoing void, we find not absence, but a profound presence, a presence full of potential, wonder, and infinite questions. As we unravel the philosophical tapestry of nothingness, it becomes clear that its essence touches every part of our lives, guiding our most profound inquiries about existence and meaning. This exploration is not just about understanding a concept. It's about understanding how we relate to the universe and to ourselves. The philosophy of nothingness challenges us to rethink presence and absence, being and non-being. It teaches us that these are not binary opposites, but interconnected aspects of reality. For instance, consider the idea of silence. Silence is often described in terms of the absence of sound, but anyone who has ever stood in a quiet room knows that silence has a presence. It can be heavy or light, soothing or unnerving. Silence shapes the environment as surely as any sound. In this way, nothingness has substance. It is an active participant in the constitution of reality. Engaging with nothingness also forces us to confront our fears, the fear of emptiness, of loneliness, of non-existence. These fears are central to the human condition. They lurk in the background of our bustling lives, occasionally surfacing in moments of vulnerability. By examining nothingness, we can learn to face these fears. We discover that within the void there lies not just the potential for existential dread, but also for freedom. The freedom to create, to fill the void with new thoughts, relationships, and experiences. This leads us to another profound aspect of nothingness: its role in creativity. Artists and creators often speak of starting with a blank canvas, a form of nothingness. This emptiness is not a barrier, but a canvas of infinite possibilities. It invites the artist to fill it, to transform nothing into something. The same is true for thinkers, innovators, and anyone who creates. Nothingness provides a space free from constraints, where new ideas and forms can emerge. In personal growth, too, nothingness has a vital role. It offers us a place to rest, to strip away the excess and focus on what is truly essential. In moments of quiet, in the spaces between our busy thoughts, we often find clarity. This kind of nothingness, this space of contemplation, can be a source of great strength and renewal. Finally, the philosophy of nothingness enriches our understanding of time and memory. Consider the past, all the moments that once were, but are no more. This past is a form of nothingness that shapes our present and our future. Our memories and the histories we tell are ways of filling this void with meaning. Similarly, the future is a void of sorts, filled only with potential until it becomes the present. This dynamic interplay between what is, what was, and what could be, framed by the concept of nothingness, underscores the fluid nature of time and existence. Thus, the journey through the philosophy of nothingness reveals it as a multifaceted, dynamic concept that intersects with many aspects of our lives. It is not merely the absence of something but a presence, a space filled with potential and meaning. As we conclude this exploration, it's clear that nothingness, far from being an empty concept, is rich with implications for how we understand the world and ourselves. In embracing nothingness, we open ourselves to a broader, more nuanced view of existence, one that acknowledges the profound role that absence plays in the fabric of being. This, perhaps, is the ultimate revelation of nothingness. In the heart of absence lies the deepest presence, a silent guide to the mysteries of life and the endless possibilities that await in the quiet moments when we dare to investigate the void. Embracing nothingness not only enriches our philosophical perspective, but also impacts our practical approach to life and decision-making. By understanding and integrating the concept of nothingness into our lives, we are equipped to navigate the complexities of existence with a more refined, contemplative outlook. Consider the role of nothingness in decision-making. When faced with a decision, the space of nothingness, the pause before a choice is made, can be a moment of profound insight and clarity. This pause allows us to consider not only the available options, but also the implications of choosing nothing at all. Sometimes the best action is inaction, a concept deeply rooted in strategic thinking across various cultures and philosophies, including the Taoist principle of wu-wei, or non-action. This principle suggests that often the most effective way to address an issue is not through direct action, but through a careful balance of action and inaction, allowing the natural course of events to unfold. The philosophy of nothingness also teaches us about resilience and adaptation. In a world that constantly changes, where certainties are few and fleeting, embracing the void means recognizing that even in the absence of clear direction, we can find ways to persevere and adapt. It teaches us that emptiness is not a state to be feared, but a state of openness and readiness to whatever may come our way. This readiness is not passive. It is a dynamic, engaged form of waiting that prepares us for future possibilities. Furthermore, nothingness can profoundly affect our relationships with others. In recognizing the spaces between our words, actions, and shared moments, we find the places where understanding and connection grow. Just as music relies on the silence between notes to create rhythm and melody, our relationships rely on these gaps of unsaid words and unacted actions to build depth and meaning. These pauses, these instances of nothingness, allow us to truly listen and understand one another, beyond mere surface interactions. In art and culture, nothingness has been a powerful force for innovation. Many modern and contemporary art movements have explored the concept of nothingness, using minimalism, negative space, and silence to challenge viewers' perceptions and provoke deeper reflection. These artistic explorations remind us that what is omitted is often as powerful as what is included, and that the presence of absence can speak volumes. Finally, nothingness challenges us to reconsider our approach to life itself. It invites us to find contentment not just in acquisition and achievement, but in simplicity and serenity. In a culture often obsessed with filling every moment with activity and every space with objects, the philosophy of nothingness suggests another way. A way of being that values the quality of experiences over quantity, that finds beauty in the bare and unadorned, and that seeks peace in the stillness. The journey through the philosophy of nothingness is not just an intellectual exercise. It is a transformative experience that can change how we think, act, and interact with the world and with each other. It offers a profound, albeit paradoxical, insight. In nothingness, we find an infinite realm of possibilities. It challenges us to embrace the void not as a fearsome abyss, but as a space of potential, where the seeds of tomorrow's possibilities are sown in the fertile ground of today's emptiness. Embracing this perspective can lead to a more mindful, compassionate, and thoughtful approach to life, marked by a deeper appreciation for the subtleties that define our existence. As we further explore the philosophy of nothingness and its implications, it becomes evident that this concept holds a key role in personal growth and self-awareness. The exploration of nothingness isn't merely about understanding a philosophical idea. It's about delving into the depths of self and the universe, finding connections in the spaces that initially seem empty. This philosophical journey impacts our personal identity and how we define ourselves in relation to the world. Typically, we tend to define ourselves by our attributes, our possessions, our achievements, and our relationships. Yet, the philosophy of nothingness invites us to consider a deeper aspect of our identity: what remains when these external attachments are stripped away. This inquiry doesn't lead to nihilism, a common misconception where nothing matters. Instead, it guides us toward a liberated view of self that is not confined by external definitions, but is open to a more fluid, expansive identity. In this exploration, we encounter a critical aspect of nothingness: the concept of intrinsic value. By embracing nothingness, we learn to appreciate our intrinsic worth, independent of external validations and achievements. This realization fosters a profound sense of inner peace and self-acceptance, enabling us to face life's challenges with resilience and equanimity. It teaches us that our true essence is not diminished by our experiences of loss or failure. Moreover, the contemplation of nothingness enhances our capacity for empathy and compassion. Understanding the void within and around us, we become more attuned to the struggles and sufferings of others. We realize that, like us, everyone is navigating their own encounters with nothingness, whether they're aware of it or not. This shared human experience fosters a deeper connection and a more compassionate approach to our interactions. Philosophically, nothingness also redefines our understanding of freedom. Often, we view freedom as the ability to do anything we want, to fill our lives with various activities and pursuits. However, the philosophy of nothingness suggests a different kind of freedom: the freedom from desire, from fear, from the compulsive need to fill every moment with action. This freedom is not about emptiness or disengagement from life. Rather, it's about engaging with life more meaningfully, without being driven by compulsive behavior. It allows us to act with intention, clarity, and peace. Finally, the philosophical exploration of nothingness brings us face to face with the ultimate mysteries of life and existence. It encourages us to ponder questions of life, death, and what lies beyond the conventional boundaries of knowledge. In contemplating nothingness, we are, in essence, contemplating the infinite, those aspects of reality that are beyond our current understanding and perception. This can be a deeply humbling and awe-inspiring experience, linking us not only to the mysteries of our own existence, but to the entire cosmos. In essence, the philosophy of nothingness is not a descent into despair or nihilism, but an invitation to explore the vast landscapes of existence from a different vantage point. It challenges us to live with greater mindfulness, to appreciate the transient beauty of life, and to cultivate a deeper, more genuine connection with ourselves and the world around us. Through this philosophy, we learn that within the apparent emptiness of nothingness lies the profound fullness of life, waiting to be discovered and embraced. As we delve deeper into the philosophy of nothingness, it's useful to draw parallels with literature, where this concept has often been explored in profound and illuminating ways. Literature offers a unique lens through which we can examine nothingness, not just as a philosophical concept, but as a living, breathing presence in the narratives and existential dilemmas of characters. One of the most poignant literary explorations of nothingness can be found in Samuel Beckett's Waiting for Godot. In this play, the characters Vladimir and Estragon wait endlessly and in vain for someone named Godot, who ultimately never arrives. This waiting embodies the existential nothingness, the void of purpose and meaning. Beckett masterfully uses the barren setting and the repetitive, meaningless actions of his characters to highlight the absurdity and, paradoxically, the richness of their predicament. Here, nothingness is both a prison and a profound statement on human resilience and companionship. Similarly, Fyodor Dostoevsky's works often delve into the abyss of nothingness to question morality, faith, and existence. In Notes from Underground, the protagonist is a man living in isolation, rejecting society and its values, descending into a form of existential nothingness. Through his intense monologues, Dostoevsky explores the depths of despair and nihilism, but also hints at the possibility of redemption through self-awareness and acceptance of suffering. This exploration echoes the philosophical understanding that nothingness can be a space where new insights and truths about human nature emerge. In contemporary literature, the theme of nothingness is explored in Kazuo Ishiguro's The Unconsoled. The novel presents a dreamlike narrative where the protagonist writer navigates a surreal world filled with unresolved tasks and unattainable goals. Ishiguro's narrative style, with its looping digressions and unresolved subplots, reflects the existential disorientation and the pervasive sense of nothingness that haunts the modern human experience. This literary journey through nothingness invites readers to reflect on their own lives, the elusive nature of fulfillment, and the often intangible barriers that separate desire from realization. The inclusion of these literary works enriches our understanding of nothingness by providing a narrative form to a concept that is abstract and elusive. Literature humanizes nothingness, embodying it in characters, dialogues, and conflicts, thus making it accessible and relatable. It allows us to experience the void not just intellectually, but emotionally, connecting with our fears, hopes, and perpetual quests for meaning. Moreover, literature challenges us to confront nothingness not as an end, but as a beginning, a place from which new understandings, and perhaps new ways of being can emerge. Just as a blank page invites the writer to create, the philosophical void invites us to redefine and reimagine our existence. This creative potential of nothingness is what makes it a fascinating subject, not only for philosophers, but for anyone engaged in the human experience. The journey through the philosophy of nothingness, enriched by its literary portrayals, reveals a landscape where emptiness becomes fertile ground for existential and creative exploration. It challenges us to find meaning not in spite of nothingness, but because of it, to see the void not as an absence, but as a space brimming with potential. Through this philosophical and literary exploration, we gain a more nuanced understanding of our place in the universe, an understanding that embraces the profound complexities of existence and the transformative power of the void.